Hey guys, it's me Ashley, obviously with another video thrown at you. For today's video, we are going to be talking about Jake Paul. So for my last post, we talked about Logan Paul, so I thought it would be kind of cool if we dabbled into his brother. And they are very similar when it comes to careers and just what they like to do in their free time. They are very similar in just content that they post and what they do to get the views. And we're gonna kind of be dabbling into bad stuff that Jake Paul has done. So if you do, or if you are a fan of Jake Paul, I suggest you leave the video if you do get triggered easily. So this is your official trigger warning. So don't get mad at me down in the comment. I am not saying my personal opinion because I feel like that could get a lot of backlash, especially if I say my opinion and I have a big platform on YouTube. So this is not my opinion. I'm not sharing my opinion. I'm only here to share things that Jake Paul has done and other people's opinions on this subject, on what he has done and how people feel about him. I actually have decided to do Raving Wednesdays. This is where I rave or just like kind of vent to you guys about a certain subject, or I research a certain subject and I kind of put my own twist on it and I show the good or bad things about something, or just, you know, the two different sides of something, you know. This video series is going to be called How I Feel About Blank. Now for this video, it's going to be how I feel about Jake Paul. It could either be, you know, a certain subject like sexism, how I feel about sexism, how I feel about Jake Paul, how I feel about Logan Paul, how I feel about gay rights. So there's so many things, but I'm gonna try and not only do the bad side of things, but also do the good side of things. So, but I'm only going to do that if you really do want to see the other side of things. So make sure to comment down below. That's really important, you guys. You don't even know, so I know to do that. Let's go. Okay, so Jake Paul is, let's just say, not very responsible for his age. There have been several events where people have gotten mad at Jake. He has done a lot of crazy shit in his house, and you know, a lot of it is like very noisy, and you know, a lot of his neighbors are really mad at him because apparently there were a lot of just noise complaints and just maybe, I don't know the specific stories, but I bet you could look up a video about it and see all that. So I'll bring you there if you want to hear more about the neighborhood story. But we're here mostly about kind of everything that he's done. We're not really pinpointing a specific subject or bad thing that Jake Paul has done, but definitely we are going to be pinpointing the Alicia Violet thing that happened. That's definitely a big thing that happened, and we're going to be pinpointing that specifically, and also the Martinez twins. That's another big subject that we're mostly going to be talking about. There's definitely other you know, stuff in here that you might find interesting. So stay tuned for all of that. I'm going to do the small things first, and then we're going to get to the bigger subjects later. Jake Paul does a lot of stunts, very immature stuff. For example, he just hurts people around him, whether he realizes it or not, emotionally and physically. Like, he wakes up his crew members. There has to be some respect going on if you want to have friends, and I feel like just Jake is lacking that. Like, he lacks the mutual respect between his friends, and you know, I wouldn't want to be friends with someone that doesn't, you know, respects me and my privacy. Yes, you sign up for this. Yes, you should be aware that this is going to happen, but it shouldn't happen. You know, and that probably happens because he wants views. And that's a huge topic that we have been going back and forth on between Logan Paul and now Jake Paul. I feel like Jake is definitely following in Logan's footsteps. they kind of have the same exact technique, which is to buy random shit and then waste it or destroy it or just never use it. And they only use it for a vlog. And that's kind of just really obnoxious, or I don't know the word for it, but kind of rude. There are so many people in this world that need all that stuff, but no, I am a multi-millionaire. I need you to do this. What people want to see in this will get, I think I would want to watch it if Jake Paul or even Logan Paul donated some money or donated a car, donated, like, had a food drive. That would get a lot of views. Just seeing someone being kind and giving back. That's what people want to see from, you know, Jake and Logan. They want to see the nice side. They don't want to see what they're currently, you know, putting up. So some things that he has done, I have it recorded here. Some bad things are that he apparently filmed him blowing up a car. Now, I want to say this, and I want to say it again because I literally just said it. You know, there are so many people that aren't fortunate in this world, and it's so unfair, but we have to deal with it. And why blow up a car? There are so many people that could die, just would literally die for a car because they need to get to work. But they're getting like frostbite and they're getting so cold, and you know, but they need a car, but they just can't afford it. You know, just blowing up a car is really immature. It's a way to get views, but it's not a good way to get views, and it comes across people in a bad way, and you know, it's really not something you want to show little kids. He has such a big audience, you know, ages from like 20 to like, you know, probably 5 even. And, you know, probably 30-year-olds watch him, you know. There's such a long range of, you know, ages. And you kind of really want to be thinking about, ooh, what am I putting out there? And I feel like that's also what he lacks into. Thinking before he does. And that is the same exact thing that Logan lacks into. Let's just say the apple does not fall far from the tree. Let me say that. Now we're going to dabble into the Martinez twins. Now, the Martinez twins were kind of deported to LA, to where Jake Paul and his Team 10 house was, or is right now currently. No, they didn't know English. They were freshly taught English, and a lot of people were saying that Jake Paul pressured them or told them to say bad stuff, and they didn't know what they were saying, so they thought it was good. They didn't know because they didn't know English and how it all worked. So I feel like that's just really manipulative. Like, why would you do that to a person? Apparently, there was talk about Jake Paul not, you know, giving the Martinez twins the money that they need, and apparently there was something about the Martinez twins' mom, and like all that money could have saved her. I don't know every single detail, but I'm sure there's a video out there. Now, a really big thing is Alicia Violet. Now, Alicia Violet made a video when she was kicked out of the Team 10 house after it occurred. She made a video recently after, and she was like basically talking about everything that happened and kind of, you know, finally telling the truth. And this is what I heard from her. So apparently she was doing something with her friend. They were driving maybe to the mall. They were going to the mall, I believe. And these kids, these 12-year-old kids, like 13, you know, 11, said that they wanted to see Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Alicia didn't know who they were, but they offered to give the little young kids a ride to their next spot, because apparently Logan and Jake got banned from the mall and they had to go to a different location. When they got there, Alicia and her friend decided to go and, you know, see who it is, and that is how they officially met up. And, you know, it kind of, you know, turned into something knew. And Alicia already knew that she kind of wanted to do something in the fashion business. She wanted to be a model, actress, you know. She kind of wanted to go into that YouTube world. So this was kind of perfect for her. And she stayed back in Ohio when Logan and Jake went up to LA. So she was still back in Ohio. But Jake and Logan invited her up for 2 weeks to come up to LA with them and just have some fun. And she said that it was the best 2 weeks of her life, that Jake was very flirtatious with her, very flirty, very like couple-y goals, but they never said it was official, and that's something you want to hold on to. They never ever said it was official. It was never official that they were boyfriend or girlfriend. They were never nothing. But, you know, she had that feeling. Jake Paul contacted her saying, hey, I have this contract. You want to come up with LA with us? And, you know, you want to be in Team 10. And she went up to Team 10 where she launched her career. When she signed the contract, after things kind of went haywire, I guess you could say, and things kind of did not go well. Apparently, Jake wanted to make Alicia feel jealous, and he basically bring home girls, you know, different girls every single night, and hooked up with them literally in his room. And apparently Alicia could literally hear them doing it upstairs. And Alicia loved this kid, you know, and that's just horrible to go through. And she said, like, she had to be all cool about it on the camera. Like, she couldn't say that something happened or something didn't happen, you know. She just couldn't, because she didn't want to get kicked out of Team 10. Apparently it went on for a really, really long time, and she finally said to herself, look, if Jake can take home girls, why can't I take home boys? And she did. She only took home a boy one time. And literally probably the day later, she got kicked out because apparently she cheated. How did she cheat on someone if it was never official? And that's just kind of really rude of Jake to do that to a person, especially a girl. He's honestly just not a good person. And, you know, I have evidence to prove this. His actions show that he's not a good person. And, you know, that's really not something you want your actions to show of you. You want your actions to show that you are a good person, that you are very respectful of others. But Jake's actions show the exact opposite. And that is the bad things that Jake Paul has done. I hope you guys like this. I know this is really last minute and the lighting is horrible. I'll have all my information down in the description below for people that want to follow my social media. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys next time.